Welcome to another battle report by Dark Wizard Gaming. Today I'm joined with Karen. How are you today?
Fantastic, thank you. And you?
I am great. Karen is coming off of a pretty big win against the Saurian Agents, so she felt like she could try out my vampire list today. So I'm going to have a Ghoul Ghast vampire list, which hasn't seen the board for quite a while.
I've never played against it.
Yeah, it's one that's going to definitely be in progress, so I'm going to see how it works out. It's definitely an unusual list for me, not having Corpse Cart or a BSB or even my Black Coach, so it'd be really interesting. We did end up with Frontline Clash, so we're 12-inch deployments in, and we ended up with Secure Target. Both the Secure Targets ended up pretty close to the center of the board, so it'll definitely be a fight to see who can hold the middle of the board. This is version 1.3, and we're playing a 5,000 point game. Let's go through the army list and get ready to play.
Okie dokie,
Right, good luck. So leading the Vampire Covenant today is going to be a Vampire Count. He went ahead and went with the Strigoi Bloodline, and he went with the Ancient Power for Bestial Bulk. So he's going to be Toughness 6. I did give him Wizard Master and Book of Arcane Power. He has to take Shamanism as spells, and the most he could take is 2, so he just has 2 spells. This does give him 1 extra wound, so I'm hoping at Toughness 6, 1 extra wound. He will stay alive for at least a decent part of the battle. To help him out, I also gave him the Eternal Ring, so he gets a 2-up ward save against the first wound suffered, and if she does come at me with any lethal strikes or multiple wounds stuff, it's something that I won't have to worry about on him, since it's going to be on the front line. The first Necromancer I have is just going to be a Scroll Caddy with 1 spell, and he went with Evocation for his lore. And then the second Necromancer, he's also just going to be a regular wizard 1 spell, but he does have the Staff of Gerard the Black. And that's going to round out all of my characters. So starting out on the right side of my board, I have 50 skeletons. They do have the Halberd upgrade, and they have a Champ and a Standard Bearer. And in front of them is going to be a unit of dogs, just to help me do some chaffing. Behind the skeletons, I have 2 units of great bats, just 2 of them. This side's going to be a little tough. She put both of her cavalry over here, and she put it on the other side of from where my Shrieking Horror is at. I did get to pick sides, so I picked this side so I could have my Shrieking Horror and my Altar Undeath behind the hill, and I went ahead and deployed out because I wanted first turn, which allowed Karen to see where I was going, and she made a very smart move of keeping her horses away from my Shrieking Horror. The center of my board, holding up the middle and right in front of my Necromancer bunker, is going to be my Ghast. The only upgrade they have is just the Champion, which is all they're allowed. And then right behind them is going to be a unit of zombies, and they do have a Standard and Musician, and both of my Necromancers went into this unit. Moving over, there's going to be another unit of Direwolves, and I forgot to say on my first unit, but both of my Direwolves do have a Champion in there. There's going to be a full unit of 40 Ghouls, and they have just the Champ upgrade. Right behind them is going to be the Altar of Undeath, and he did take the Dark Tomb, and that's going to be helping my Necromancers here with their casting. However, since my main Lord is not using Invocation, I'm going to have to watch him because I do want to get him farther than 12 inches away, so if he miscasts, I don't actually end up hurting myself by, and also not giving him any benefits. I do have 1 unit of bats chaffing over on this side, and then on the very left-hand side, holding everything, is going to be the Shrieking Horror. We'll see what happens. He may need to get moved over the other side pretty quick to deal with some of those cavalry units, but he's pretty versatile, so we'll just see how the battle unfolds and where she ends up going.
I'm going to start with my commanders and kind of work through my list and just show you a little bit of everything that I do have. First is my my High Prince and my Royal Huntsman, so he is within my Lion Chariot. He does have a great weapon. Few magical items that we have put on here was the Bluffer's Helm, the Talisman of Supreme Shielding, things along those lines. So he's kind of a tough little cookie. The other gentleman that I do have is my High Warden of the Flame. He's going to be located in my Flame Wardens, is where he's going to be hiding out with them, and he's going to be my battle standing bear. We did add a few extra things for him for the Dragon Mantle, Hero Sword, things like that. We do have, along is my mage. I have a Wizard Master is what I have, so he's my Scroll Caddy. He carries 3 spells. I like him because I get an extra 6 inches from when I'm casting spells, but then if they're aura spells, I get an extra 3 inches, so it's kind of handy. My Highborn Lancers, they are full command, and I have 5 of them in that unit. The Knights of Rama, we have full command as well, and there's 7 horses in that unit as well. As we mosey across the board here, you'll see I have an eagle. He's, nothing really strong or anything like that, but he's a good distraction. Is why I like to use him. Along with my Frost Phoenix. I like the Frost Phoenix because, again, he's a pretty model. So I enjoy playing with him. But I always manage to try to put him along with my Lion Chariots kind of center of the board because I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to end up needing them. Behind my eagle, I have 21 archers, and we just have a musician in that unit. I do have my mage in this first unit that's behind my eagle, as that's where she is located. Moseying on over, we have our Flame Wardens. So again, that's where my battle stand bearer is going to be located in that unit. And they are also full command. And then we have my bolt thrower. I love shooting. I'm just a shooty person, so I always got to have lots of shooting. So I throw my bolt thrower in there. Right beside them is another unit of 21 archers. It's the same thing as my other archers. Right in front of my crossbow is my reavers. We have 5 of them. They have bows on them and a musician. So I put them on this side because they are fast cav, and regarding all the goofy terrain, I thought this would be a good side for them. I will look forward to see what happens.
Vanguard section, I went ahead and brought one set of my wolves over and just put them in the forest. The second set of wolves, I vanguarded them up, and then I moved them to be right in the middle of the runes. That's going to give them hard cover if she decides to shoot them. Starting on the right side, I just pushed my skeletons up all the way, flew the bats up enough so they could still leave room for the skeletons to grow. The gas unit marched up to be just right in front of the rune. They don't want to enter that yet, and the zombie wizard bunker followed them. On the left, unfortunately, even before moving my Ghast, the Screeching Horror was out of range of the BSB for March, so we did some finagling. We got him to where he just hopped over the Altar of Undeath, and then I kept the Altar of Undeath to where it's within 8 of the Ghasts and Ghouls for next turn for regen. However, he is more than 12 for my general, so if I do miscast, I'm not going to take the effects on the general from that altar. And then I went ahead and pushed my ghouls up as well. Everything that you see that has a blue dice on it, that just means that it's got the regen from the Altar of Undeath because it was close enough at the beginning of the turn. Magic was pretty uneventful. I got 1 evocation off, which raised 9 skeletons, and then Karen got rid of both of the other spells, so no shooting, no combat. It is now going to be her turn.
For my movement phase, I just kind of moved everybody up just a smidgy. Basically, I was just trying to stay out of Mike's charge range, but just gradually get a little bit closer. And I did pull my reavers on around, so they're on his kind of backside now. For magic phase, I won't complain. I got half of them, so that's always good in my eyes. Mike did get rid of the Stars Align, and I did get off is the Scrying, and I did the Aura. So I end up getting about 5-6 units that end up getting that, and then I put my attribute onto Frosty. For my shooting turn, I put everything into the Ghast, and I only did 2 wounds, so it's kind of an uneventful shooting turn, but oh well, next time it'll be better. So on to Michael's turn.
So for the vampire's movement, I did charge my direwolves into his chariot. Luckily, they all passed their dangerous terrain when they were running through there, or that would have been some issues for me. On the right side, I brought both my bats up. I was able to bring my dire wolves. They were just barely in range of the general to march. Brought them up to screen both of the cavalry units. Just moved my skeletons up. I also brought my shrieking horror over as far as he could go. He was also just barely within the general's leadership before I moved him up. So I want to get him over to match up against the knights. We had to change out the ruin in the middle of the board because there was going to be too much stuff on it, and those pillars are unremovable. So we just have a paper down, and I went ahead and put the Ghast in the middle of that. That's going to help them from shooting next turn, and if she decides to charge in, that's definitely going to help me with that because they're going to take dangerous terrain. I moved up the zombies, the Altar of Undeath. It's still very tricky placing him. He's got to stay 12 inches from the general, but I do want to be within 9 inches of everything else, so I got that all but the skeletons pretty much are going to be with 9 inches of him for the regen next turn. Went ahead and pushed the ghouls all the way up. Vampires had another really low magic phase. I only rolled a 4. Karen channeled and so did I. I got 1 bubble evocation off and able to raise a few more skeletons. Added some zombies, took the wounds off of my Ghast, and that was about it. She got rid of all my other spells. I almost forgot about our combat with the dogs and the General Lion Chariot. This is what I call our dog trap. So since I have a champion, I'm able to challenge, and then she's able to do 3 wounds, or 1 wound, and then 3 over kill, which gives 4 in total. I charged, so basically that means that there's still 1 dog left at the end of this round, so we'll be stuck in combat for 1 more round until she kills the dog.
I had a few charges, and they were all successful this time. My Reavers, they charged into the bats over there on the side. Went ahead and just want to get rid of those little turkeys. And then I did go ahead and bring my Frost Phoenix and my Forest Wardens into his ghouls, his block of ghouls. And the other charge that I had was with my Highborn Lancers. The dogs are in my way, and so anyway, I just got to get rid of those dogs. My original plan was to try to get into his skeletons, but he's got some more bats, and speaking of dogs being a nuisance, his 1 little dog still left, so my Lion Chariot can't do anything. And I was concerned is after this combat, Mike's next round was that he was going to charge with his Ghast into my Lion Chariot and then overrun into my archers, which has my mage in that. I was considering taking her out, but I decided to go ahead and just fly my eagle up and center it, so if he's going to charge something with that Ghast, he has to use my eagle, and at least gives me some buffer for my next turn on those. For my magic phase, Mike got rid of 2 of my casting, and then the one I did get off is Know Thy Enemy, so I did went ahead and put that on my Frost Phoenix, and I put my attribute as well on my Frost Phoenix. So I'll take 1. 1 is better than none. My shooting wasn't as strong as I had hoped for. I tried to shoot the Screeching Horror with my bolt thrower. Dadgummit, I missed it. But my 1 set of crossbows, they did pretty decent against a skeleton. I got rid of 7 of them, so I'll take that. We had a lot of combat this round. I'll start with my Highborn Lancers with that combat. They took out the dogs. I wanted to overrun into the 1 unit of bats because I thought it'd be great that I go ahead and win that combat and then reform, but they were, I guess, lazy, so they didn't make it for their overrun. The Lion Chariot, he went and took out the last dog, so no problem, easy peasy. My Frost Phoenix and the Flame Wardens, that combat actually ended up pretty well. Mike killed 4 and I killed 7, but with all of the combat resolution, I won by 7, so he ended up crumbling more. Hopefully he won't grow too many of them back. Got my fingers crossed. That way I can maybe take him out within the next round or 2 and not be there all game. Then the last round of bats with my Reavers, they went ahead and took them out. My Reavers did. I just decided to stand and hold.
For the movement phase on the vampires, I did flank the eagle with my skeleton block. That was an auto in because he was in 8 inches, and I do have a champ. And then that was the only charge. I did bring up the bats to screen the chariot, so hopefully there's no way that the chariot should be able to come into my screeching or screaming horror. The horror moved up to go ahead and try to scream at the Dragon Princes. I'm hoping that I do enough wounds on that it's scary for him to bring the Dragon Princes in, but you never know. She might still be able to bring those in. I left the bats where they were at behind the wall because those Highborn Lancers aren't able to do anything other than charge them or just move around because they're blocking them nicely. I left the Ghast where they were, as well as the necromancer bunker of zombies. And then on the left hand side, it was really hard to figure out what to do with my altar of undeath, and because I still need to be 12 inches away from my general, but I wanted to give everybody the bubble for the regen, and I also want to do the Well of Woe on the light cav over here. So I went ahead and put that on the hill. That will open up for bolt thrower shots. So the vampires needed a huge magic phase this turn, and thank goodness we got it. We rolled an 11 for Winds of Magic, and I channeled, so I ended up with 12 dice. I got off one evocation on the ghouls, and then she got rid of the other one. I rolled Ancestral Aid, letting them reroll their failed to hit in close combat, and Karen got real unlucky and was not able to get rid of that one, so it went off. And then with no dice left, I was able to get Awaken the Beast, the toughness version on the ghouls, and the attribute went off on there. Real happy with the shooting. First I did the Well of Woe over on the Reavers. I did 5 wounds and 3 went through. So she had 2 armor saves. And then over on the Dragon Princes, I had 4 wounds, and she saved 1 with her ward save, but she's down by 4. She saved her panic on both of them. So I'm really happy with the close combat phase. The skeletons, they were the only one thing that's a little bit of disappointment in both regards. First, they didn't kill the eagle with their attacks. The eagle still has 1 wound left, and then they failed to run it down, and they also failed to go far enough to actually land in the side of the Frost Phoenix. The ghouls, though, made up for it. They did really well. They ended up killing 6 of the Flame Wardens, and we did 3 wounds to the Frost Phoenix with 1 wound before. He only has 1 wound left, and then I did still lose combat by 1, but I'll take that any day. That T5 really helped me out quite a bit, so that's actually looking like a promising combat for us next round.
So my charges, I have pulled in my High Lancers into the bats over here across the wall. I did head and roll all of my dangerous terrain. I actually was okay with all of them, so we didn't take anything. I moved on over here to my Knights of Rama. I charged into the bat. I did charge my chariot into the Ghast, so I did go ahead and make that charge, and I did roll, and I made that. I rolled for my dangerous terrain. I accidentally did forget that that was a ruins, but I got lucky and I only took 1 wound, so grateful for that. And I rallied with my eagle. I moved my archers up. Well, we're going to go ahead and combine my magic and shooting phases together because it wasn't very good. The only thing that I did get off was the scrying for my magic phase. I rolled a low amount of dice, so I didn't get a whole, a lot of chance of getting stuff off, but I did manage to get that one off. So Tickle Pink, I even got 1 off. I put that on my Lion Chariot, and then my attribute for Guiding Light, I put that on my Flame Wards. So I put all my shots, and I mean all of them, from my archers to my bolt thrower into the screamer, 0. He saved everything. What I did get wounded, he saved everything. So combat went surprisingly well for the High Elves. Frost Phoenix, I got super lucky. Mike had 5 wounds into it, and he only needs 1 left to kill it out, but I made all my saves, so I was really ecstatic on that. For the Flame Wardens, actually worked out pretty decent. I got quite a few wounds on there, and then between his crumble, I think there was approximately 14 men that were gone, so very pleased with that, and I just lost 2. I did win both of the bat combats for my High Lancers and the Knights of Rama, and then my Knights went ahead and ran into the Screamer.
There wasn't much movement on the vampire side this turn. I went ahead and charged my skeletons into the side of the Frost Phoenix. There was 4 rows of them that were in the ruins. I rolled 24 dice and only took 1 wound from dangerous terrain, so I got super lucky there. And then I just went ahead and moved up my Altar of Undeath close enough that I can go ahead and hit the eagle with the shooting and still keep it to where I can do my aura of regen next turn. Magic was very minimal. I didn't roll that much for my Winds of Magic. She got rid of both of my evocations to raise ghouls, and then I did get the Ancestral aid off on the ghouls again, so the reroll when they're failed to hits. So on the shooting phase, I was able to Wail of Woe the Eagle, and I did kill it. We were a little confused on the rules for the Screeching Horror, if he could shoot in the shooting phase with since the Knights of Rama overran into him. We went ahead and shot the Knights of Rama. Anyway, they ended up taking out all 4 of them. Combat was definitely disappointing for the vampires. With the side charge with the skeletons did 0 wounds to the Frosty, and the ghouls did some wounds, but she saved them. And then I only did 1 wound to her Flame Wardens. So all in all, I actually lost combat by 1, so each unit took 1 more wound. I did move the skeletons over to maximize how many I'm going to get on the Frost Phoenix since I'm down a ghoul. And then over with the Ghast and her General. I should not have challenged apparently because she cannot wound me, so we're still stuck in. She only did 1 wound to me, which means none of the rest of my Ghasts are still able to attack until she kills them, that one champion.
I did not have a lot of action to do in general, so I'm just going to tell you all about my movement, magic, and shooting all at once. The only thing I did for movement was just turn around my Highborn Lancers. Magic, absolutely nothing went off. I rolled a 1 and a 2, so Mike was able to get rid of everything. Shooting actually was not too shabby, very pleased with it. I put everything into his Screamer. Between all of the shots, I ended up getting 3 wounds that he was not able to save, so I'm very pleased. Combat, we'll start with my Lion Chariot. So neither one of us did any wounds, so Mike is not very tickled pink about me still being in combat with this champion. But I lost by 1, but I made my leadership, so it's no big deal. Over here, I did finally lose my Frost Phoenix, and my Flame Wardens are still there. He's still going to get a side flank into my Flame Wardens.
Don't have a lot left to move for the vampire counts. I went ahead and charged my skeletons into the Flame Wardens on the side, and then I moved my Screeching Horror back just a little bit. I wanted to be more than 30 inches from her archers. Karen was able to stop my evocation, so no more ghouls. She will be getting that unit. I did get the Awakened Beast on the skeletons, giving them +1 strength, and I also give Ancestral aid on them, re-rolling their misses. The Shrieking Horror did well. She was just outside of her general's leadership, so we needed anything buts to wound. He got 4 shots and did all but 1, so there's just 1 horse left there. For combat, I did lose my unit of ghouls. I knew that was coming. My skeletons whiffed on everything. They did a horrible job, so they only did 1 wound on the Flame Wardens. I lost a few extra skeletons, but I'm still stuck in. The general finally killed my champion, so we are out of a challenge, thank goodness. I was hoping to start getting some more Ghast attacks into him, and I did go ahead and reform, so my Ghasts are close enough that I am holding that objective.
I just moved my 1 Highborn Lancer that I have left closer to my general, so his screams aren't so scary. And then also that way I'm a little bit closer to the objective. I did also move my 1 archers up closer, that way I can at least do some shooting at his Screecher because I was out of range. So as far as magic, I had a big roll. Mike managed to get rid of everything except for 1, which was the Stars Align. I put that onto my Lion Chariot. Then I went ahead and just put my attribute as well onto my Lion Chariot. My shooting phase, not a whole heck of a lot happened. I put everything into his Screamer, and I didn't get anything, any wounds. I did manage to hit with my bolt thrower this time, but Mike saved everything, so that was very uneventful. As far as combat goes, we started off over here with the Flame Wardens, and I got super lucky. Mike had 12 wounds against me, and I saved all but 2. So I am very grateful for that. I feel bad for Michael, but I did get lucky, so they are still there. The Lion Chariot, that combat, I end up winning it by 2 wounds.
Alright, so the last active phase for the vampires, I went ahead and charged my Altar of Undeath into Karen's Flame Wardens. It's not the best idea, but I really need that unit to break so I get the objective points there. So let's hope that works out all right. I also charged my Screeching Whore into her last horse. She chose to flee. I rolled triple sixes, so I actually caught the horse, so I don't have to worry about losing a scoring unit on this side over here. And then the only other movement I had was I just moved my my Necromancer bunker zombies up a little bit. I did my Aura Undeath instead of my regen this turn because I needed to get rid of a few Flame Wardens, and I was trying to do some wounds on the Chariot. I did do one wound on the Chariot, and I actually killed 2 Flame Wardens with my Aura, so I feel like that was a success doing that for sure. Magic was pretty good. I did get 1 evocation off. I brought back some skeletons. It was an aura, so I also brought back some Ghast. And then I got the Ancestral Aid off, and that was on the skeletons. And for both of my evocation spells, I did the extra wound onto the Ghast. So I'm back up to having the full amount of Ghast in there, just with one with 2 wounds on it. In close combat, I was able to kill all of the Flame Wardens, and I ran down the BSB. And then over on the Ghast side, she did 2 wounds to me. I didn't do any wounds to her. The re-rolling your successful wounds with the 1-up armor save and 4-up ward save is just really tough to get through on that guy. So I lost by 2. I took 2 more wounds, so it's going to be Karen's turn 6.
I didn't have any movement phases this time, so I just went straight into magic. The magic that I did get off was Know Thy Enemy, so I put that on my Lion Chariot, and then I went ahead and put my attribute on that as well. So we're going to go ahead and shoot, and got my fingers crossed I might be able to put some more wounds onto that Screamer. The shooting was pretty good, but I was just slightly disappointed. I almost got rid of the Screamer. He has 1 wound left, but not too shabby, so I will take that. For our final combat, the Lion Chariot, we actually did 3 wounds, and Mike didn't do any, so I ended up winning that combat. So I was tickled pink. I thought I was going to lose him, so he's still around.
All right, that was quite a game. 6 turns, yeah, absolutely. It turned out to be a 14-6 victory for the vampires until we figure in the secondary. I was lucky enough to get both secondaries, so it ended up being a 17-3, but it seemed like a lot closer game than 17-3 going through it.
It felt a lot closer there, definitely till the end. Disappointed about my horses, though. I think that's what, I guess, could have been a big turning point for me if I didn't lose all my horses on that side.
Yeah, that swung the battle.
Man, whew.
I'm really glad that I decided to bring him from that side of the table and come over to match up against them. Because if I wouldn't have had anything to stop. And your horses could have come into my Ghast, which couldn't do anything to your Chariot.
Yeah.
Your general having to reroll wounds, having a 1-up, 4-up, he is really strong. It's a very powerful. I need a cannon to shoot him is what I need. If vampires only had cannons. Who was probably your best unit or model today?
I would say definitely my Lion Chariot. I think he held up the best and kind of tied up that unit too from coming out, and because I was worried he was going to take over my mage and my crossbows here. So I think by him just keeping them tied up and not wrecking my back lines and swinging around and side flanking, I think that probably was a big thing for me to help me out.
So I would say it's almost a toss-up. Even though I lost my ghouls, I'm going to give them almost MVP because they held up a long time against those Flame Wardens. And between that and knocking your Frost Phoenix down to the point that I could kill it, and allowing my skeletons to come in and take care of everything, those ghouls, they did an amazing job with the help from magic.
Their points.
And then just the Screamer as well on your Cavalry. It was such a good matchup for me with him to be over there. So both of those were good. Overall, this isn't a list that I would want to take to regular tournaments. I just feel there's too much danger of any flaming because it takes away my regen on everything. But this was a really fun list to play for just around the gaming club.
And I enjoyed playing it because it was a lot of models I haven't seen play before. I like the Screamer. Never played against that before. So it was interesting and, I don't know, unique in that way.
And I really like your list. You've done a good job with it, and you're getting a lot better at playing it. So I think your list is doing really well.
Appreciate it.
So thanks so much for joining us, and catch us on the next Battle Report, and Happy New Year's.
Thank you. Happy New Year's, guys.
Thanks for watching our Dark Wizard Gaming video. If you enjoyed this video, please use the subscribe and the like features here on YouTube. And then leave us any comments for anything that maybe you want to see different on the videos, any upcoming content, or anything else you'd like to see. So thanks a lot, and see you on the next video.